this evening, and welcome to a Ryan Day opens up his heart in the most miraculous way about the National Championship edition of the OHIO podcast. Do us a great big favor and smash that like button. If you're not already, please consider being a subscriber to the channel and ring the bell. It absolutely does help us out and continue to grow this channel and grow our Pod Squad community here at the OHIO podcast. And the other thing that you can do beyond that is adding a comment to the comment section below this video. I definitely am going to want to hear from each and every single one of you, especially those of you who are not Ryan Day supporters or aren't Ohio State fans. I want to actually kind of get a pulse of people. And when it comes to this topic, I think this is an important topic. It just so happens to be a topic we have discussed multiple times. But in relation to the national championship, it becomes an amazing story. And that's what we want to talk about. So let's dive right into it. Um, Ryan Day was on the Colin Cowherd show, and I'm not a big fan of Colin Cowturd, as I like to call him. I think he's controversial. He says things that he doesn't even believe for clicks and for follows, and I think he learned this from the best of them at ESPN. And just quite frankly, I just don't think that he's very good at his job, to be honest with you. Of course, um, one might argue that that's exactly why he's good at his job, and I understand if that is your stance when it comes to Colin Cowherd. But Ryan Day was on his show. Colin Cowherd asks him a question, and Ryan Day gives him what it can only be a vulnerable, honest answer that I don't think Colin Cowherd was ready, and to be honest, I don't think most of um, people who are Ryan Day doubters or Ryan Day haters are going to want to hear. But that's exactly what you need to hear about this man. Let me play the audio clip for you, and then we'll dissect it for you.
Take me back to the moment you knew you were going to be national champion. Who was the first person you thought of?
Well, for me, it was my father. And I didn't really make this public before, but since you asked me, I'm going to answer the question. I lost my father on January 20th when I was 9 years old, and I saw when the schedule came out that the national championship game was on the same day that I lost my father, and so I just knew that he was with me that day, and that was the first guy that I thought of.
Oh, that's a great story. Um,
Wow. Simply wow. Ryan Day, 9 years old, when he loses his father, um, who took his own life, and that from that moment on, Ryan Day's life, 9 years old. Let that sink in. 9 years old. From that moment on, Ryan Day's life changed as a young boy. It would never be the same again. Here he is today, a leader of young men, the head football coach of the national championship Ohio State Buckeyes. And it still to this day impacts him so greatly. He didn't go boasting this as one Notre Dame fan who I have successfully removed from the internet, it appears. He and I have gone round and round in circles about this topic. His view was that Ryan Day was using that as an excuse to get Ohio State fans a sympathy. He didn't feel it was being used in the right context. There's never a wrong context to express your grief about losing a loved one to self harm. Let that be clearly stated. You are a trash human being if you don't allow people to express their grief when they lose loved ones like that. Okay? So let me make that perfectly 100% clear. It doesn't matter what team you root for. If you do not allow people to express their grief in their own way when it comes to this topic, you are a trash human being. End of story. That's all I'm going to say about that guy. Ryan Day is not one who goes out and boasts about this or talks about this to the degree where it becomes white noise. When it's mentioned at in context to greatness, whether it be great in that moment or great as in the impact on a life, right? And and so the two times he's mentioned this in the past year has been in regards to what his family has gone through and being that they've lost 4 consecutive seasons to our rival. And now in context to winning a national championship. So, let in that context, the two times he's mentioned losing his father has been in context to the greatest despair his family has felt as a family unit due to him being the head football coach at Ohio State. So the bottom of the bottom, and in winning a national championship, the highest of the highs. The emotional swing he's gone through from losing to the team up north and winning a national championships, in both of those extreme swings of emotion, he expresses the greatness and the magnitude of that moment as a 9-year-old child and losing his father. The despair, and yet the winning of the national championship and the memory and context of the relationship he had with his father as a 9-year-old. The deepness of that is remarkable. The the emphasis of the greatness of that emphasis of it. I'm having trouble finding the words to even relate to it. It is no doubt that this topic that Ryan Day is so brave, has the courage to express amongst his players, and that to the point where he and his wife Nina are willing to donate millions upon millions of dollars to research and creating institutions both at the Ohio State University Medical Center and Children's Hospital of Columbus, Ohio, to further the efforts of those in the medical field to combat childhood mental illness and awareness. It's such a massive impact for him that he's willing to put his money where his mouth is, and then to express it in this way is remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable. And I for one am sick and tired of fan bases, whether they be from the stupid team up north or they be from our own dumb fan base at times, or from fan bases who have nothing better to do but to, I don't like Ryan Day, I'm going to make fun of his beard, or I think Ryan Day's not a very good football coach, or whatever stupid things they want to say, born on third base or whatever, right? The one thing you cannot do is you cannot look at that man and say he's not a good human being. Whether you like him as a football coach or not, whether you like him calling out your former football coach or not, Notre Dame, whether you like him because you feel he's in step with the NCAA and trying to expose your cheating or not, looking at you, Maize and Blue fans. Well, however you want to, whatever context you want to try to put Ryan Day in to try to make your conscience feel better, just stop it. The only person you're fooling is yourself. You're the only one you're fooling. And let me say this, and I'm going to make this perfectly clear for everybody. Because as sure as the day is long, somebody's going to watch this video and they're going to say, but Boggs, after November 30th, you came on the show on November 31st, or excuse me, on December 1st, and you said it's time to fire Ryan Day. And I have expressed my own personal emotions about that time and time again. And I'll say this. Hopefully, this will be the last time I have to say this. When I walked out of the shoe on November 30th, I was a broken fan. I had defended Ryan Day for 6 seasons. I wanted him to win that game more than anything. And at that moment, with that roster, with all those advantages, and the way we lost that game, and the way he reacted after that loss, I was done. I was just done. And I thought, and I remember saying the only thing at this point that could save it for me would be him going on a run in the college football playoff. And bada boom, bada bing, he does more than that. He goes out and wins a national championship. And excuse me for all of a sudden saying, you know what? I jumped the gun there. My bad. My apologies. Some of you just want to crucify me over that for some stupid reason. Like I don't get to celebrate a national championship for the team I love and cheer for simply for at that moment having the feelings that I had, okay? I'm sorry if that offends you. But what if does offend me? And what should offend everybody who roots for Ryan Day and the Scarlet and Gray is how some people just refuse to look at the man and what he does for the betterment of young people, not only on his football team, not only in the program, but throughout the entire country in the state of Ohio. In battling head on with extreme courage this thing that no one wants to talk about, and that is mental awareness among young people. Harry Miller has admitted he's alive today because of Ryan Day. We had a woman in the comment section last time I talked about Ryan Day and the money he donated to mental awareness at Children's Hospital say that Ryan Day and the money he donated to Children's Hospital and the fine folks over at Children's Hospital are why she believes her daughter is with her today. So if you want to continue to make fun of Ryan Day's beard or whatever stupid thing you're going to cling to, or the fact that he is 0-4 against his rival in the past 4 seasons, four attempts. Whatever. If that makes you sleep better at night, congratulations. But maybe you should start looking yourself in the mirror because this guy's actually doing things that actually impact lives for eternity, not just wins and losses inside Ohio Stadium and beyond. Ryan Day's a good dude. He is a good man. He's a good father. He's a good husband. He actually cares about people, which is a rarity in this world that we live in, where everybody's out for themselves. Everybody's me, 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 me. What can I get? And this guy actually spends time, money, and effort helping other people. And that is why he is a great human being. It caught Colin Cowherd off guard. I don't think Colin Cowherd's ever going to forget that answer. I know I won't. I know I will not forget that answer. And how apropos is it? How poetic is it that on the very date, January 20th, a day that will live in his head for the remainder of his life, he now gets to put with that the national championship. Wow. Amazing. That is absolutely, simply amazing. 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 3, blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, which according to his abundant mercy hath begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. Ryan Day's a good dude. He's a good man. When people when people want to poke fun at him, when people want to say things, you know, and I'll say this in closing. If you've watched this whole video, all 16-minute plus of this now, then obviously you're a super fan and we appreciate you. And you're going to know exactly what I'm about to say. Michigan fans defend Jim Harbaugh, who preaches honesty, integrity, and doing things the right way while lying, cheating, and stealing. It's one thing to say with your lips what you want people to believe you are. It's a whole nother thing to do it. Don't just talk the talk. But Ryan Day, he walks the walk. Like, share, subscribe. It really does help us out. Let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH and sing Carmen Ohio with all your heart. Till next time, you know what to do. Go Bucks.